Hey guys, what's up? I'm McLean for live once again, and I'm back for another versus Knives movie review. And today I'm gonna review another direct-to-video movie from versus Knives, and that's of course 2007, The Contractor, which came out in 2007. Was straight to direct-to-video, and this was directed once again by Joseph Rusnak. Um, Joseph Rusnak is a director that I don't know anything about it. I saw that he did in 1999 he did the 13th Floor, and I never saw the film. And Joseph Rusnak is one of the directors that I don't care about it. He did The Art of War Part 2. That's the only one that I saw in The Contractor, and I rented that movie. It's a piece of shit movie. But The Contractor, I don't know, it's a decent film for versus Knives, but if I prefer this film with the previous three movies that I reviewed, Unstoppable, 7 Seconds, Hard Luck, this movie is the weakest one. And it's not a Rant, but this is really a lame movie in my opinion, a cheap movie. It's a cheap step down movie. I know that people are bitching about Unstoppable, not with the Denzel Washington and with 7 Seconds, but I like those two movies. For the time, for direct-to-video movies to me are not bad. This movie, it just doesn't have that much action in the film. But I actually will show you the few pictures, with Lena Headey from Dread and the Game of Thrones. She was in the film. Those are the bad guys. The bad guy. I think there's a scene with Wesley Snipes when he's actually a sniper. So this was released in 2007. The Contractor talks about, by the way, not to be confused with the. Don't be confused with the title. It's not the 2022 movie with Chris Pine. That movie is even worse than this one, in my opinion. This is direct-to-video from versus Snipes, so I hope you're not confused. The Contractor talks about James Deal, retired CIA Black Ops assassin and sniper during the Iraq in the war. When he actually was on a mission. This guy, notorious terrorist cell leader Ali Mahmoud Jahar, played Nikolai Sotiro. He had an encounter with James Deal, and during the struggle he went and cut James in the leg, but he escaped. And now after years later, he's now in prison, and they want to send him in the cell. And his contact, his employer boss, Jeremy Collins, he's a CIA he's a CIA employer by James Deal. Jeremy Collins, played by James Jackson, who plays Jeremy Collins. He goes and he hires James Deal to kill the terrorist, in London. Ali Muhammad Jahar. He gives him, so he accepts the mission. He goes to the city in London, and when Jahar, he goes, with the police escort. He goes out. At first, James, he hesitates, but then he goes and shoots him. He kills him, and he's addressed as a priest tries with his friend. Terry Winchell. They try to escape, but his friend, he's been shot in the head, just like in Nowhere to Run by Van Damme. His friend gets by a cop, shot in the head, and they have a car accident, and James Deal survives, and he escapes. He drags himself in the apartment, and then in the apartment there's this little girl who lives with her grandmother, and that's Emily Day, played by Eliza Bennett. So Emily, she snags in the apartment, and because because Terry Winchell, who was friend with her, he's no longer there. So she meets James Deal, and she sees that he's bleeding. She decides to help him out. She becomes friends, and James tries to escape now, but Collins, and his men and his goons are now after him. They are searching for him, and he has no choice, but what to do is he's double crossed by Collins, and the cops are searching for him. So he tries to escape. He goes to the airport, but they track him down. He tries to escape. In the tunnels, he's been caught by Detective Chief Superintendent Andrew Windsor, played by Charles Dance. Yes, Charles Dance from The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the good guy, Detective Chief Superintendent Andrew Windsor. He catches James Deal. He tells him he's at CIA. He's a Black Ops operations hitman, and he's been hired, to do this hit by Jeremy Collins. And before Windsor finds this out, he gets shot and killed by Collins and all. And he goes and he nails, so now James Deal escapes, and Collins puts he frames, he goes and frames James for the murder. So now his daughter, played by Lena Headey, she's Inspector Ned Ballard. She's pissed off, and she's so blinded that James Deal killed her father, but he didn't. She decided to find the justice and find him. So once again, Emily helps James. So James, he tries to go. So James, he goes to this station to get the passport, but because whole country is now hunting him down, this guy calls the cops. So Emily, she decides to help him out, and she walks to him. That means he's a setup, and she walks away from him. It's clear, and then she goes and look around. She finds that there's the cops. She walks through him. So he once again they try to hunt him down. But Collins blows everything once again. So he escapes. And he decides, to find evidence, and he finds all the evidence that it actually was Collins who fired Windsor, not James Deal. So he goes and calls Annette, and he says to have a meeting. They meet each other. He gives her that key, and Collins and his men are trying to shoot to kill both of them. He saved her life, and they go to the tunnels. He goes back and kills one of his pursuers. But this is a scene, when these bad guys are shooting at him, on the meeting. But by the end, I think they both. I'm sorry. I think this is just gonna be a rant on this film, because the Contractor, it was, I don't know, it just, it's just not my cup of tea. I do have this movie. I think that Detonator is even worse than this movie because the picture quality was shit. But I just can't finish the movie. By the end, at first I don't know what the fuck is with his shades, and by the end of the movie, he goes and he escapes with a train, but he sends Emily 2 tickets. This movie just doesn't. It's a terrible direction. I mean, this movie. It doesn't have the action sequences are barely in the fucking film. They are lame. When the cop shoots and hits, tearing the head from the car. This movie stole the scene from Nowhere to Run with Van Damme. Yes, they stole the scene. I don't know why this little girl was in the film or why she was even breaking in the apartment and she meets Wesley Snipes in the film. I don't get it. I thought the director sucks at making the movies. I rented The Art of War Part 2. I don't know why the people even like it. This movie is better than The Art of War 2 Betrayal, but that's it. There's nothing good in the film. Lena Headey, she does a good job, but it's just, I don't know, The Contractor is just, I don't know, a shitty movie, a shitty direct-to-video movie. I like Unstoppable, I like 7 Seconds, I even like Hard Luck. Hard Luck is not a bad thriller, it's a damn good thriller. But there's nothing much I can say. There's only one fight scene, but it doesn't look like that's Wesley Snipes because I know Wesley Snipes how he moves, and the guy that's moved, that's not Wesley Snipes. I don't think that's Wesley Snipes fighting. I think that's some stuntman, because I don't think that Wesley Snipes even moves like that. Because I know his techniques. Because Wesley Snipes is 2nd degree black belt in Hapkido and 5th degree black belt in Shotokan Karate. Those moves that I saw were not Shotokan Karate. That's not how Wesley Snipes moves in the fight. So I think that was a stuntman, or maybe it was a CGI car on his face, but that wasn't Wesley Snipes. The movie doesn't have any fight scenes at all. The story is terrible. I know he's in Alabama. That's actually goes to London to make this hit, because it was personal. The same year came out The Shooter with Marky with Mark Wahlberg as Marky Mark. I thought that movie was better than this movie, but the movie doesn't have that much action scenes in it. There's neither one action sequence that is memorable. In this movie. There are few shootout scenes, but that's the mostly is. There are few shootout scenes, but that's the mostly is. I mean, Lena Headey doesn't do that much in the fucking film at all. But this is from Sony. This is actually from Sony. From Sony Pictures. But the DVD just doesn't work. This movie just doesn't work. The Contractor. It just doesn't work. I mean, it's a forgettable. It's just, I don't know. There's not one good, except the picture. The colors, the picture, which is better than Detonator. This movie doesn't make no sense. It almost has nothing good about the film. Now, this movie was set and filmed in Sofia, Bulgaria, which was also later was in Cardiff, South Glamorgan Wallace, because it was actually in Duke. The movie was set in Duke, so partly was filmed in South Glamorgan Wallace, and was also partly was filmed in the U.S. state Montana for the finale scene when Collins visits James Deal, in the ranch, with that horse. I think his horse was named Lucky, from Hard Luck, I think so. But this only lasted 47 days, a month it was filmed, this movie, from March 31 till May 17, 2006. And I know that partly was Wesley Snipes in it, but he felt bored in the film. I don't know what happened that he went to the direct to video. I mean, even Van Damme's Wake of Death is much better film for direct to video. It's much better film than this film. I mean, Wesley Snipes could have done much better film. He done Blade, Demolition Man. He done Murder at 1600, U.S. Marshals, Drop Zone. He did better films. White Man Can't Jump. He did. Even The Fan I thought was much better than film than this one. The word greatest marxist now Mark Man. I mean, the same year came out the shooter with Marky Mark, which he played a marksman, a sniper, and this is like the same. But I don't know what the fuck is marksman. His belly is a marksman. He's supposed to be a sniper, but he only uses sniper rifle once to the movie. I do have this movie only for I only do have this movie for the Wesley Snipes collection, but this will be my least favorite film. Because this movie really sucks. I mean, pretty much sucks. It's boring. There's any, like I mentioned, there's any action sequence memorable. The story makes no sense. It's confusing story. The acting performance is poorly done. It's just, the direction is terrible. I mean, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Joseph Rusnak doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. The other War Part 2 sucked. This sucked. I mean, the guy just doesn't know. Annette Bening, Lena Headey, for the whole movie, she's useless. She barely does anything in the film. I don't think she even kills some guy in the film. I don't think so. It's just, I don't know. Screenplay by Robert Boston, Joshua Michael Stern. Which I'm surprised. But Joseph Rusnak is a terrible director. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know how to direct a movie. I never saw 13th Floor because I don't care about the film. I saw the trailer. I don't care. I don't have an interest. I don't care if it has 7.0 on IMDb. I don't give a fuck about the film. The direction is terrible. The action sequences are barely memorable in this film. And for direct-to-video, I mean, even Steven Seagal makes better movies direct-to-video. Yes, I said it. Urban Justice came out the same year. Much better movie. Urban Justice was much better movie. Even Shepard the Border Patrol with Van Damme was much better film than this one. Wake of Death by Van Damme was better film than this one. I would rather watch Wake of Death than this movie again. Because I've seen direct-to-video movies that weren't that bad. But this one wasn't the worst one, but this was just, I don't know what the fuck happened to this movie. It's just boring. Thank God it was only 1 hour 30 minutes long. But there's nothing good about this film except watching Wesley Snipes. Not good at all. But yeah, it was. I don't know what do you expect from direct-to-video. Well, like I said, I mentioned it. Wake of Death from Van Damme is much better film. I would rather watch that movie. The Shepherd, Border Patrol, much better film. In Hell was much better film, which I reviewed the film. Even Steven Seagal's Urban Justice is much better film, in my opinion. Or even that movie Maximum Conviction, much better film by Steven Seagal. He did direct-to-video. I don't like Into the Sun, but I'll say that Into the Sun was much better than this film, But even Dolph Lundgren's I forgot the Die Hard movie that he played, Command Performance. I think it was Command Performance. or even The Mechanic was much better by Dolph Lundgren. Icarus was much better movie by Dolph Lundgren than this movie. You know, this movie just fails miserably. Also, this gun, Wesley Snipes doesn't use this machine gun. He uses Beretta. He doesn't use machine gun. The whole movie, he does not use a machine gun. I don't know what the fuck is his shades, or why she even holds the gun. She barely uses it in the film. I mean, the Contractor, you know, or why the fuck he's even wearing the hood. I mean, he's wearing the hood through the whole movie. Yeah, he's wearing a shades and hood through the whole movie. I don't know why. Yeah, this is the bad guy. You know, Collins is the bad guy. This is the man that are shooting at him. They want to kill him. I don't know why the fuck they want to kill him, because he knows too much or something. I don't know. But yeah, that mostly is about the Contractor. I had to do that. I love Wesley Snipes, like I said, but the Contractor, this movie is just terrible. I mean, I thought that the Detonator was even worse, but I mentioned a few better movies, you know, that are definitely better. But yeah, the world's greatest marksman is now a marked man. I would say the greatest boringsman is now a bore of a film. Because this is a boring snore fest of the direct-to-video film by Joseph Rusnak once again. I mean, this guy makes a shitty movies, but the other one, part 2, was sucked. This even sucked, you know. You know, I didn't know that this is gonna be Rant, but fuck it, this is my least favorite movie, you know. Because I actually really did enjoy, Unstoppable, that people are bitching about. 7 Seconds I enjoyed Hard Luck. This movie I did not. I watched it last night. It's just shitty. But that's my rant and movie review. Yes, it's gonna be titled Rant and Movie Review, The Contractor 2007. Thanks for watching. Take care and have a good Sunday. I'm out. Peace.